I told my wife what our son said to me, and she started to cry as well. A family of crybaby. She, she tried. The only one that's smiling is a 17-year-old.
Yeah.
Well, favorite son drama.
Son drama.
Son drama. Yeah,
Okay.
not the son, but you know what I'm talking about. Son
Yeah,
drama.
yeah, yeah,
All
yeah.
right. So
Drama for your mama, son.
yeah. So I'm a father of 52. So I'm not 52 kids. I have I'm 52 years old.
I would
Uh,
have guessed the latter, but you never know. You never know. Some people
yeah.
out here shooting clubs like fresh.
Yes, yes. We're gonna talk about that in a bit. But yeah, so this is the story, and I quote: I have two sons, one of 36 and one of 17. My youngest is a senior in high school, and my oldest is a dentist. When my youngest was 5, I had just got a promotion and was making more money than I ever had before. My wife and I decided to start saving up for a college fund for our youngest because we weren't able to do it for our oldest. Since February, since early February, our youngest has been starting to get acceptance letters, and so far he has gotten two. He was so excited, and we were all happy for him. As for now, he's still undecided on what he wants to do and where he wants to go. He told me that it's either something dealing with the medical field or him becoming a lawyer. Our son received his second acceptance letter last week, and he was overjoyed. And so was my wife and I. And my wife decided that now would be a perfect time to tell our son of the college fund, and I agreed. So no one knew at that point.
Mm.
When we informed him, he was surprised at how much it was and asked us if we were serious. KR, in a negotiation, you say, I'm gonna pay you $5,000 a month, and someone asks you, "Are you serious?" You'll be like, "Damn, it's too much." But okay, I should have told them three.
It's crazy. I had it happening to me, but that's less.
Yeah. Okay. So when we informed him, we informed him that we were serious, and we doubt it would cover all of his expenses, but it would definitely help a lot.
Hmm.
We encouraged him to try and get a job so he could also put money in there as well. He agreed with us and told us that he'll start looking for one and that he appreciates what we did for him.
Hmm.
Seeing him smile from ear to ear was the best thing in the world. We were happy to see our son happy and made us even happier when he was thrilled to tell his brother, his oldest brother of almost 20 years older. So he's almost 20 years older than him,
Hmm.
about him getting another acceptance letter. My oldest son called me not long after the conversation with his brother,
Oh.
and I could tell that he was crying. Uh, where am I? He asked me if I was alone and if his brother was near, and I told him that I was alone and that he wasn't. I was concerned about him crying and asked him what was wrong. My oldest son continued to cry and told me that he's tired of my brother getting everything handed to him. He told me that it's hard to pretend to be happy for his brother when he had to work for everything he had.
Mm.
I was taken aback by this and I started to apologize to him. I told him how we couldn't afford a lot of things and we could now, and that we were just trying to give his younger brother things we couldn't afford when we had him. My oldest then asked me why we kept him. Whoa,
Why we kept him at the daddy house or what?
no, no. My oldest asked me why we kept him if we couldn't afford to keep him.
Oh,
Yeah.
jeez,
He then said that
jeez.
watching his br- he then said that watching his brother get all the things he wanted as a child hurt. He said that if we couldn't afford him, we should have just given him up for adoption. Okay, that's something else. Okay. I thought he was insinuating the
He's,
the other age.
it's insinuating what Fresh
Hey,
would do.
I
Take a
didn't.
pill. Take a pill. No, a
uh,
chill pill. I'm talking about.
Hearing him say that hurt me like hell. I actually
Jeez.
started crying too because although me and his mother couldn't give him everything we gave his brother, we still tried our best to shower him with our love and support. Hearing him say how He'd rather be adopted hurt me to my core. I tried to apologize again and tried explaining how much his mother and I love him, but he just hung up in my face. This honestly hurt me more. This honestly hurt me more. And I tried to call him again multiple times to explain myself, but he just sent me a message saying, I will call you back when I'm ready to talk. Please just stop calling me. I told my wife what our son said to me, and she started to cry as well. A family of cry. She, she tried. The only one that's smiling is a 17-year-old.
Yeah.
I hope he doesn't spend it on blow. She tried to call him, but I
Here you
stopped her
go.
as I informed her that he didn't want us to talk to him anymore. It's been a week and we haven't talked to our son, and we usually talk every 2 to 3 days. My wife and I have been crying ourselves to sleep lately, and I don't know what to do. So, KR, what should they do?
What should they do? Nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing. A lot of times people, I think it's I understand what he's saying, right? He said he's seeing the younger brother getting what he thought he was, I would say, owed, maybe kind of a, I didn't get it, I wanted to have that. But you gotta put everything in perspective. The reason why you are today who you are is because of what you went through. That doesn't mean that the brother who's getting everything will reach the levels you're reaching. And a lot of times people lose that perspective. Like, people will always want to have what the other person has,
Yeah,
but you have to walk your own path. And
that's
I
true.
think I think that's the a lot of people get this mixed up. Where they're looking at someone else, which is this time it's brother, but it could be also your neighbor. I mean, keeping up with the Joneses. That's a way to say. People try to keep up with the Joneses, but they have a different path. And yes, you can do some things, but at the end, he has to process it himself. You cannot help him.
Yeah, yeah,
I think, at least.
yeah. I think that um, I agree, and I would just add that a lot of times people forget that there are different situations, right? So they're two different situations. We're talking about a time span of 20 years.
20 years.
It's just like a if you have like a partner, you guys get married maybe at an early age, and then you divorce the partner because he wasn't, so let's say the wife divorced the husband because the husband wasn't really at the level that she wanted him to be at that point in time, and he wasn't providing what she thought he had to provide at that point. Fast forward 15 to 20 years later, the man has a new family and can provide everything. And these are all the things that he would have been able to provide. He just needed time to get there. So it's two separate situations. And I understand the child's issue, but the fact that he said, I am tired of my youngest brother continuously getting preferential treatment tells me that this is just the cherry on the top. It's not, it's like the last drop, it's there are
Mhm.
probably a lot of things that have taken place already that already created the impression that the youngest one is a favorite child. And now with this one, he probably went to college to pay off, or might still be
It's
paying off
still, yeah.
college debt. um, and it's unfair to him, he might think, but yeah, it's just a matter of.
I think so. So one thing the parents could have done, and now you're telling that part of the story. I mean, I understand it as well. Maybe the kid has gotten a lot of material stuff. What they could have done is also, while creating like a college fund for the one, also put some money aside for the other so they can give him the money and to pay off part of it, the debt he has. I mean, that helps a little bit. I mean, at the end of the day, the 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 I think it's a lot of times, and sometimes it's not the youngest kid. Sometimes it's the older kid that gets preferential treatment. That's a problem parents create in general.
Yeah.
And you have to be, as a parent, you have to be very aware of what you say and what you do, because I've seen it happen a lot of times where parents, it's just a little bit, and it's not even, maybe for as a parent it's not that big of a deal, where you give that son maybe a stake, a bigger stake, a lot of times. Maybe it's because he's the older one. And that the younger ones will see it as preferential treatment. They'll be like, oh, come on, man. I want a big stake too as well. So you
Yeah.
gotta be very careful what you do as a parent. So I
Yeah.
think yes, I think you cannot do anything, because that he has to process it himself. But they could have been more aware of their environment and when they are raising the younger kid.
Yeah.